Learning and motivation. What is learning? This seems like a simple question until you begin to think about it. Firstly, let me define what learning is. Learning is a permanent change of a behavior as a result of experience. There is a change, and this change is a result of experience. Learning takes place in many ways. Sometimes it is intentional. When students acquire information in a classroom or when they look up something in a book, this kind of learning is intentional. That is to say, these people learn something with an aim. Sometimes learning is unintentional. For example, a small child feels anxious when he sees a doctor with a needle. This behavior is a kind of reflection. Before moving to motivation, I will talk about some principles of learning. Firstly, let us look at the role of consequences. A behavior changes according to immediate consequences. There are two kinds of consequences: pleasurable and unpleasurable consequences. Pleasurable consequences strengthen behavior. On the other hand, unpleasurable consequences weaken the behavior. If you enjoy reading a book, you will probably read more. If you find it boring, you will read less. Pleasurable consequences are called reinforcers, and unpleasurable consequences are called punishers. A reinforcer is any consequence that increases the frequency of the behaviors. There are primary and secondary reinforcers. Primary reinforcers satisfy basic human needs. Such needs include food, water, security, sex, and shelter. Secondary reinforcers are associated with primary reinforcers. There are three basic categories of secondary reinforcers. One of them is social reinforcers. Smiles, attention, hugs, praise are examples of them. The second one is activity reinforcers, such as access to toys and games or fun activities. The third one is token reinforcers. These reinforcers are also called symbolic reinforcers. Money, grades, stars, points, etc. are such reinforcers. When a teacher gives a high grade to a student, that grade stimulates the student to study. Now, let us look at punishers. Punishers weaken behavior. The aim in punishment is to reduce behaviors. We can reduce behaviors by imposing unwanted consequences. Some students are afraid of being shouted at. In order not to be shouted, they give up making noise. Now, let us look at motivation in relation to learning. Motivation is one of the most important components of learning. What makes a student want to learn? The willingness to learn is a result of factors like students' personality, ability, learning materials, teacher attitudes, teacher behaviors, and settings. Motivation is closely related to human needs. People want to satisfy their needs. Some basic needs are food, shelter, love, and self-esteem. Maslow identifies two types of needs: deficiency needs and growth needs. It is important to meet deficiency needs first, then growth needs. Deficiency needs include safety, love, esteem, belongingness, and warmth. Growth needs are the need to know and understand, to accept different ideas, to appreciate beauty, to be willing to acquire a new habit, and aesthetic needs. In addition, Maslow mentions self-actualization. Self-actualization is characterized by acceptance of self and others, openness, democratic relationships, creativity, and independence. That's all about learning and motivation. Now you have 15 minutes to answer the questions.